right, shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors and salutations to the apostles and elders of GMS, Great Millstone, who taught me this truth, planted that seed. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom to you, Akim and Aqua, that be listening to the videos. I say shalom to you. This is your brother Kalak Har coming back at you with another video. It's pretty late, but still got to give to the Lord. Keep this fire burning. So this lesson is going to be about slavery, Jake. I'm gonna hit points on slavery, and then you're still in slavery, Jake. You think because you got a little money, you're doing a little things in America. Yes, actually, Jake is doing the best he's done under a captivity. Jake's doing very well. He's doing better off than a lot of people, but still you under those curses, Jake, that don't take you away. So let's get into it. I didn't want to make this too long, Lord willing, but we're going to highlight slavery, while not necessarily while we went into slavery, but highlighting the key points of going into slavery, and then you're still in slavery today. So let's get it. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28, the infamous 28:68. And the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, shall bring thee into Egypt. Egypt means bondage, again with ships, by the way thereof, whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt say it no more, and thou shalt be sold unto your enemies for bond men and bond women, and no one shall buy you. When that says no one shall buy you, you look up that word buy, and it goes into shall buy you, to get, acquire, create, buy, possess, obtain, originally created, redeeming his people. So nobody should redeem you. So the Lord is the only person that can redeem you. You can't be, nobody can buy you out of this captivity that you're in today, Jake. That's going into now. This is talking about the cargo, the transatlantic slave trade, where you went to on cargo slave ships. If we go to Isaiah 22, start at the 17th verse. Isaiah 22:17. Behold, the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua will carry thee away with a mighty captivity, and will surely cover thee. Verse 18. He will surely violently turn and toss thee like a ball into a large country. Because when you was on those cargo slave ships, it took 3 months to get over to the Americas, and you was tightly packed in there, tightly squeezed in those boats. And what the Lord is saying here is, he surely will violently turn and toss thee like a ball. So when you was out there in the ocean, traveling over here, when you was chained up and all next to each other, all those waves going around, you've been tossed in for like a ball, into a large country. This large country is the Americas. There shalt thou die, which a lot of us died, committed suicide, asking brothers to choke them out, starving themselves to death. There shall y'all die, and there the chariots of the glory shall be the shame of the Lord's house. The Lord put us in this captivity for a reason, because we went off, our fathers, which we are people that's coming back. Nothing is new under the sun. You can't remember what happened in the past or what's to come, but we are regenerated. We those same people that was on them ships. So, Jake, you should have a fiery passion about this. A lot of you Jakes out there would be like, that was in the past. Jake, you're the same person. You come back every 3 to 4 generations. You're the same people coming back. So how you not going to be mad? You probably was one of the ones that's on the ship, like, can't wait to get to America, and whatever we're going, I'm going to be a good slave. Old dumbass nigga. Wake the fuck up, Jake. You're still in captivity today. We'll get to it in a second, but we're going to get through this first. Let's go quick. And these are basics, man. We always touching on the basics. Deuteronomy 4 and 27. And the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua shall scatter you among the nations, and you shall be left few in the number among the heathen, where the Lord shall lead thee. You were scattered all throughout the whole world, Jake. After the fall in 70 AD, you went into the west coast of Africa. The Jews, the Benjamin, Levi, Judah, went into West Africa. But before then, you had the northern tribe go to the Americas somewhere around the 400 BC mark. So there's a scattering there, and then there's a scattering after 70 AD. you know, and then there's a scattering when no, there's a scattering 70 AD. You know, so you was scattered among the nations, Jake. That's why Jake is going to look like every nation that's out here. So that's why we don't rely on color or looks of the person. We rely on their spirit. Our spirit beareth rule. I think that's in John 8. Our spirit bears rule. So when we see people and they, agreeing and, you know, some people, Esau will agree with shit just because they want to be on your good side because they know what's coming. But a lot of these nations, a lot of these people have been, the Israelites been scattered, so they're gonna look like everybody. They're not just gonna look like Wesley Snipes, Kevin Hart, Jamie Foxx. The list goes on and on. They're not just gonna look like black people, so-called black people. Get that out of your head, Jake. They're just not. Let's keep going. Let's get in Baruch. Let's do Baruch. Start at the second chapter first. Therefore, Baruch 2:1. Therefore, the Lord hath made good his word, which he pronounced against us, and against our judges that judged Israel, and against our kings, and against our princes, and against the men of Israel and Judah. Verse 2. To bring upon us great plagues, such as never happened under the whole earth. You hear that, Jake? You've been in the worst you got it the worst, Jake. Nobody has got it worse than you. It came to pass in Jerusalem according to the things that were written in the law of Moses. Let me jump down to 4. Moreover, he hath delivered them to be in subjection to all kingdoms that are round about us, to be a reproach and a desolation among the people round about, or the Lord shall scatter thee. Yes, Jake, in every country out here, if you go anywhere, you're the lowest of the lowest. Jake, you at the bottom. They treat you the worst. You're not getting anything from them, Jake. You're subjection. You're in subjection. Let's go to Baruch 3. Baruch 3 and 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, because you're still in captivity today, Jake. In our captivity, where thou hast scattered us. You were scattered from, remember, you was on the west coast of Africa for 1,400 years, Jake. Running all the west coast of Africa. For the reproach and curse, you under the curses that's in Deuteronomy 28 and 15 down, and to be subject to payments, nigga, you was bought. Did they not put you on auction blocks and buy you with payment, with money, with molasses and rum? And let's get a precept real quick. Let's get a precept. Let me finish the verse. To subject with payments according to the iniquities of our fathers which departed from us, the Lord our power. Jake, you were sold for scraps, man. Could you imagine? Somebody had a tub full of molasses and they sold you for it. They traded somebody for your personal body for a tub full of molasses. Could you imagine that? I don't think you can, Jake, because you can't even remember it. You just got history. This type of shit will piss you off. If this don't light a fire in you, Jake, I don't know. The Lord ain't dealing with you. The Lord just simply ain't dealing with you. Hold on, let's get Baruch 4 and 6 first. You were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because you moved the Most High to wrath. And you were delivered to your enemies. You were sold, Jake. Point blank, period. You moved the Most High to wrath. You disobeyed his laws, and he had to sell you. It's simple. Think Joel 3. Yeah, and they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for a harlot, and have sold a girl for wine that they may drink. So yeah, Jake, you was sold. Here's a little boy we got right here. Let me get that girl you got right there. You can have this little boy. You know, see that girl, that little 10-year-old girl over there, 12-year-old girl over there. Here goes a barrel of wine. I'll sell it for that. Think about that, Jake. Think about how they did that to us. You know, and they got to pay for it. That's for sure. That's definitely for sure. Let's go to Deuteronomy because ours already here over here. Back in 28, the curses. Deuteronomy 28 and 48. Let's read 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah, thy power to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. Yeah, you didn't keep the law, statutes, and commandments, and look what happened to us, Jake. Therefore thou shalt serve thy enemies. And when the Lord, Salakia, when the Lord punish, he punished people by nations. He don't just look at individuals and say, you know what, that individual going off, let me just punish him. He does that, but ultimately he does the whole nation. So, Jake, it don't even matter. Therefore, verse 48, therefore thou shalt serve thy enemies with the Lord, Yahweh Shem shall send against thee in hunger and thirst. Jake, you was in slavery. You had to go to them to eat their slop, their thirst, and nakedness. They had to put clothes on us, and one of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron on your neck until he had destroyed it. If you Google yoke of iron, Jake, you the only person in this world that had a yoke of iron around his neck going into captivity. You the only ones, Jake. The only ones, you know? The only ones, Jake. Let's go to Jeremiah 50. I'm going fast. I know. Keep up. It's late. I got to go to work in the morning, but hey, the Lord, the Lord still need his, you know. Jeremiah 50 and 33. Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shah of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. That means Judah, the top tribe of the southern kingdom, the head tribe of all the tribes, and Israel, which is the other tribes, mainly the 10 tribes, and then you got Benjamin, Levi, and Judah, were oppressed together. That means when we got sent over here to the Americas off cargo slave ships, the Gadites were here, and then the other 10 tribes were here. So that's what it means when they were oppressed together. And they took them captives and held them fast, and they refused to let them go. They refusing to let us go. They're not going to let us go. And going in it deeper, they're not going to tell us who we are. They're trying to keep that a secret because, they don't. Let's get a precept. Psalms 83. Let's start at the third verse. Psalms 83 and 3. I'm gonna break it down for you. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. Who's the people? It's the Israelites. Crafty counsel. What that sound like? Let's look at that word crafty. To be subtle. What subtle means? To be sneaky as fuck. To be skewed. To be crafty. Beware. To take crafty counsel. Be prudent. Crafty, subtle. To be crafty. To become steward. So they took a sneaky counsel against the people. A subtle counsel against the people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation. The name of Israel may not be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. And let's name the nations that are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom, that's the so-called white man. The Ishmaelites, that's the Arab man. Moab, that's the Chinese man. The Hagarenes, that's the African, so-called African man. Gabal, that's Asian. I believe that's Asians. Ammonites, that's Japanese. Amalek, that's the top head of the Edomites, the so-called Jewish. The Philistines, more Africans. Elam should be in there. Yeah, Elam should be in there. So-called East Indian man. He took us captive too. But those are your enemies, Jake. Those who have taken crafty counsel to cut us off as a people. You know, to cut us off as a people. Let's go back to Jeremiah 17:4, and thou even thyself shall discontinue from the heritage. Remember, Jake, you've been cut off from who you are. That's why you don't know who you are. That's why we're waking up. These dry bones are waking up. It said in Ezekiel 37. Salakia, forgive me. I know it's in Ezekiel 30 something. And thou even thyself shall discontinue from thy heritage that I give thee, and I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in the land which thou knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever. It won't burn forever, but that forever means just a time period. It's going to get to a time period that is going to burn, you know. So that's slavery. That's happened in the past. Right now we're in the current future, you know, and we're living through that sore. It's talked about. I believe it might be in Jeremiah, it might be in Isaiah, but there's a perpetual sore that we can't heal because of that, because of the brutalness of slavery. It was so brutal. And this the worst captivity ever. We don't know who we are. We got to find out, through the grapevine. We got to, the prophets, starting on from Apostle Tahar on down, and the ones that came before him. Think about the ones that came before that. This word kept going on and on and on. It's you got to think about how great this is, Jake. This truth is something else. But let's keep it going. You know, let's keep it going. Let's go to Ecclesiastes now, Jake. We're gonna get into you're still in captivity today. You think you got something going on just because you got a little freedom? Well, we're finna take that. We're finna break this down for you, Jake. Ecclesiastes 7:7. Surely oppression make a wise man mad, and a gift destroys the heart. Better at the end of a thing than the beginning of thereof, and a patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit, because these proud ass people going, destruction is for them. But oppression makes a wise man mad. And what do we mean by oppression, Jake? When you got to go get gas, who you got to go to? You got to go to say Elam, which is the East Indian man, or Ishmael, which is the Arab man. When you women want to get your hair extension and all that, where you going? You're going to the Koreans. When you want a quick fix of food, some Chinese or some food on the corner, you're going to look on the corner. It's not your people, it's a Chinese person that's giving you food. In your neighborhood, Jake, your grocery store or your corner stores, your fast food marts, your cash, cash, uh, cashier checking, who is in those stores? It's foreigners. It ain't you, Jake. These foreigners get to come here and get a loan and build in America on your block, you know, right in front of you. And you can't even do that. You can't even go get a loan because they're going to look at you funny and think you're trying to steal the money. Jake, those are the curses that you under, Jake. You can have damn near 800 credit and they still ain't going to give you shit. They still going to find a way to say, I don't know. We don't know about you. You know, not only that, Jake, you got an ID, you got a social security card, you got taxes to pay. Go pay the IRS and for a couple years and see what they do to your ass. They're gonna put you in jail. You got a birth certificate, you in debt. Go buy a house, go buy a truck, finance that shit, and it's just you're gonna be in debt. Jake, this was set up. And you might say, okay, well, what about the other people, the so-called white people and all the look, Esau would destroy himself. So it don't even matter about you. It don't even matter about you, matter about them like that. It's about you, Jake. It's about the Israelites. It's about the Israelites. That's why in Micah 2, I think it's 2 and 10. Micah 2:10, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it's polluted and it will destroy you, even with a sword destruction. Arise and depart. That means get this place out of your mind. That don't mean get on a fucking plane and go to fucking Africa, or, just leave. No, it means stop thinking this place going to keep going on and on, because it's the greatest nation to ever live on the earth. Yes, it is. And it's going to go out with a bang. The Lord going to mess this place up. And I can't wait to see that. Even though if he destroy me, I still trust him. But I'm doing the work of the Lord and I have faith. So, I have hope that the Lord is going to deliver me when I call upon his name. In those chariots, I hope to be in those chariots when the Lord come back and start destroying shit. But arise and depart. Get this place out of your mind. Stop thinking it's going to go and stop being complacent, Jake. The Lord ain't going to wait forever. The Lord ain't going to wait forever. And even in the scriptures, it say people should wake up at the end. And that never labored or, was never, they just, probably found a name at the end and they got delivered, So even with saying that, that's a slippery slope. You playing with fire, Jake. So even though I said that and I probably gave you a little hope, you're still playing with fire. Let's go to Second Esdras. We almost done. I did want to get no, don't worry about it. It was 3 holy children, but I don't worry about it. Let's get Second Esdras. Second Esdras 10. '21. For thou seest that our sanctuary is laid waste, our altar is broken down, our temple is destroyed. Our psaltery is laid on the ground, our song is put in silence. Our rejoicing is at its end. The light of our candlestick is put out. The ark of our covenant is spoiled. Our holy things are defiled, and the name of that is called upon us is almost profaned. Our children are put to shame. Our priests are burnt. Our Levites are gone into captivities. Our virgins are defiled, and our wives ravaged. Our righteous men carried away. Our little ones destroyed. Our young men are brought into bondage. Our strong men are become weak. And which is the greatest of them all, the seal of Zion, have now lost her honor. She is delivered into the hands of them that hate us, and she is the people. You Israelites, we're in the hands of the people that hate us. Do you get that, Jake? After all I said in this lesson, do you understand you're still in captivity? The Lord still gotta come back and get us. And it's only right that you call on the Lord's name, because that's the only thing that's gonna save you in these times. Like I said, time is running out. Esau think he's gonna rule forever. This is what Esau thinks. Where is it? Obadiah. Third. Obadiah 1 and 3. The pride of thy heart has deceived thee. Thou that dwellest in the cliff of the rocks. Remember, they was in Georgia, Russia, in the Caucasus Mountains. The pride of thy heart deceived thee. They're deceived because they think that the Lord is dealing with them, or they think they just some higher power. They got the power. Thou dwellest in the cliffs of the rock, whose habitation is high, that said in his heart, who shall bring me down? The Lord gonna bring you down, Esau. That's gonna happen. That's for sure. So, those were just basic scriptures to go over slavery, and then you're still in slavery today, Jake. You Israelites are still in slavery. So with that said, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahusha, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahusha, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahusha, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahusha, Bahashem, Rakakadash, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahusha, Babakasha, 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 Sharmaya, Sharmaya, Hazan, Ra, Iwad, Mayan, Dawada, Ahmed. All right, this is your brother Kalakar. Shalom, and I'll see you in the next video.